switch. Entonces lo que él me está diciendo es que el agua, obviamente como la válvula de desgaste, la placa gafa si ves que pone presión, pero ¿qué está pasando? El agua vuelve y se devuelve a la tolva. ¿Por qué? Porque no está la platina que cambia, está desgastada un poco porque no es nueva, o sea, se ha usado. Al pasar eso, mira, ves que se mueve. Y lo que hace es que el agua que se supone que saliese por aquí constantemente se devuelve a la tolva. Concreto no lo hace, obviamente con más grueso. Y lo que hace es que al devolverse pues se sale por afuera. Entonces no logramos construir suficiente presión dentro de esa parte, a no ser que cambiásemos la placa gafa. Pero no es necesario, la placa gafa no está mala, simplemente que está un poco desgastada. Es lo normal. Entonces, cuando tú estás bombeando concreto va a pasar algo similar, pero obviamente no se te va a volver el concreto a la tolva. No hay cómo, porque el concreto es mucho más grueso. El agua es demasiado delgadito y se te va a devolver algo. ¿Qué es lo que está pasando? Por eso hay tanta agua saliendo de la vuelta. El agua está siendo otra vez empujada hacia la tolva. Absorbe agua de la misma y la vuelve y la empuja hacia afuera. Es lo que tiene. Ok, entonces vamos a...
Off and on. Forward. Off and on. Neutral. Reverse.
Ok, reversa hacia allá, neutro y hacia adelante. Y el que activa es este. Now, if they don't want to use this. Ah, ok. Entonces este es el principal. This is the main. That's right there. Now this is main on your box, right? Este es en la caja. Neutro, o sea que no se une, y aquí para el control. Para que te control, ahí que no te pregunta. ¿Lo ves?
Tiene que estar aquí, claro.
Ajá, correcto. But now let me ask you, if they have it here, does this work? No. Oh, it works too. So they work in both positions then. Okay. En cualquiera de las dos posiciones funciona, tanto acá como acá. Lo que pasa es que este está más hecho para que sea un sistema inalámbrico. Como no es inalámbrico, vamos directamente atrás del switcher, donde agarra energía y ahí lo coge. ¿Ya me entiendes?
Esta función la hace aquí.
Claro.
¿Es neutral o no?
No, en neutral aquí no te funciona. Is this neutral? This doesn't work. No, it does work. So it works in any position, basically. Oh, okay. Now, if you want to work it from here without using that, you can't. Oh, okay, I understand. Entonces, en vez de... Lo que yo pensaba era que este iba a funcionar sin necesidad de estar conectado, pero no se puede. En cualquier posición que esté, tu switch siempre va a ser este.
Este ya quedó muerto.
Básicamente. So this is a dead switch. Mientras este esté amarrado, sí. Ok, ahora lo tenemos hacia adelante. This is reverse o forward. Este hacia adelante, neutro y reversa. La reversa lo que hace es absorber concreto, que es lo que ya hablamos. No va a salir nada por ahí. Now, does he need to stop it or not? Can he go forward? So, para poder echar reversa tiene que pararlo acá. Reversa y ahora sí hacia adelante.
Center, the rock valve won't move, the pistons will. This way is to pressure the system out.
So come back again.
If you leave it in the middle and you turn it on, it's just going to cycle. No rock valve. If you turn over on this side, it's going to go one stroke and pressure out. Normal operating is here.
Okay, la operación, what's this for?
It controls the pistons.
Just for the pistons, okay. This is for pressure out, you're saying? Okay, and then this is regular operation. Entonces, la operación regular acá, este de aquí es básicamente para nosotros, para presionar, para crear presión. Let's try to build up some pressure on it, please. Lo que él dice que esto es neutro, ¿no? Aquí cuando está esperando el concreto o algo lo deja acá para que la bomba no esté constantemente trabajando y aquí ya la pone a trabajar. ¿Vale? El ventilador, que es bueno siempre mantenerlo prendido, lo jalan y está prendido. Siempre manténganlo prendido, es lo mejor. Y él se apaga.
Like we were discussing, I don't know if you want to tell them about the flow control. How you screw it in, it slows the pistons down. Open it up.
Ok, cuando ustedes notaron que cuando la máquina va a empezar a bombear, ella siempre tiene una velocidad estándar, sube automáticamente, no hay que estarle moviendo. Lo que hace que merme la cantidad de flujo de concreto que sale es esto. Si ustedes lo abren como una llave, más rápido se mueven los pistones. Si lo cierran como la misma llave, pues obviamente se mueven menos rápido los. Let's demonstrate the speed of the. Yeah. Para apagar no. Este es para apagar el ventilador. They're asking about this. When you turn that off, if you turn off the machine, does it turn that off too or not? The fan?
The fan itself, you mean?
Yeah. No, I see.
Yeah, when you turn the key switch.
Back on, it starts on. I see it. Okay. And if you turn it off, so you can leave this alone. You can leave it out here. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna consume any electricity. So, you just turn it off. Normally you would turn it off while the machine is off. Sí. Yes. Yeah, they're here in Florida, so they have to have it on. They have to have it on.
And then you have forward reverse for your remixer.
Para el agitador, lo mueves hacia adelante o hacia atrás. Eso, no hay una real forward o reverse. En realidad no existe. Eso es o para un lado o para el otro.
Para que se mueva el cemento que está ahí.
Exactamente, exactamente. Claro, entonces, let's activate it real quick. Let's show him how it works, please.
You got forward,
Es para que esté
reverse. Generally, you want it always pulling into the material zone, so it's always in a reverse. By nature.
So which is up. Up.
Generally speaking, yeah, you always want to pull it back towards the cylinder. If you pull away, the cylinder will grab air. You know what I mean? If you have a tight slot.
Esté confiando el cemento todo el tiempo que tenerlo para arriba para que esa madre esté echando el cemento para atrás.
Hacia la.
Para que no tenga la raya ni los cimientos.
Correct.
Se mantiene lleno, ¿ya?
Okay.
And then if you sat for a long time, if you sat for a real long time, you just go reverse and kind of mix it up.
Run and reverse.
Yeah, you can if the hopper starts getting stiff. Yeah. Generally, if I'm waiting 20 minutes, if I'm only 100 feet away, I'll grab the hose and put it in there and turn it on and just kind of recirculate. Right. Put a little bit of water in there and make it really wet. Then I'll shut the machine off and I can wait 15 minutes before you go there and turn it on and see what it's doing. If the truck just left and you pumped it right out when you got there, and the batch time is only an hour, you have no problem. Yeah, if you're going to be more than 15 minutes. If after if he gets done, he washes out. I ask the driver, "Where's the next truck at?" He goes, "Oh, it's 5 minutes away." I ain't gonna do it.
Okay. It's more than 15, 20 minutes.
Usually the driver, he'll be honest with you. Hey man, they ain't even dashed it yet. Hell, you might as well wash out. You can wash these things out in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? But, a rough wash. You don't have to get it perfect. Just to wait for another truck to come by. It might take 2 hours. You fill one hopper up, push it out, put it in reverse, clean the cylinders out, put the ass end back together, fill the hopper up again, put a sponge in it, and blow it out. 15 minutes. Now I'm waiting. I get in the truck and bullshit.
You understood the motions of the washout? What he say? You fill the hopper up. So you finish pumping whatever you have inside of the hopper, right? You pump it all the way to the bottom, and then you fill it up with water. You push the water out. That's what you're saying, right, Harold? That way it pushes whatever concrete you have in the hoses. And then you fill it back up with water, but you put a sponge on the end over here where you have your hoses. Am I correct?
Correct.
And then you push that from water.
So even Pooch used to use the same system. They're getting away from it. They're timid. You're going to pump along, and the S tube's going to stop shifting, and then it'll start shifting again. And then sometimes it'll stop and then start. And if you're on the job site and you hit a big pothole, there's an RCA plug in here, and if you just wiggle it, it'll start pumping again. They're kind of timid. So you got to kind of watch that. You get on a job site and you're pumping just fine, and all of a sudden you can hear the pistons moving, but it'll stop shifting. Oh shit!
We have to look at that.
Yeah, just open it up.
Yeah, you just hold on to it and they'll start pumping again.
It's like a break in the house, just on and on.
Correct. That's it. So they're kind of timid. They really are.
It happens everywhere.
It's random. I mean, it depends on how big of a pothole you hit. You know what I mean?
Like if you hit something, like if you're driving or something and you create vibration, pisaste algo y ¡pum! Movió el sistema eléctrico, entonces pues obviamente
The
va.
way they have to mount them is sideways because they're long, so you can't mount them up. They mount them sideways. So the weight of themselves kind of makes them sag a little bit. You hit a pothole and boom. You know what I mean? You just stick it in a little bit farther and boom.
Open here, open there.
Yeah, let me show you what. Let me open it up.
Ya lo va a abrir para que lo sepa. Lo que pasa es que, ¿qué pasa? Muy posiblemente van a pisar huecos. Eso es lo normal. El sistema que tiene un sistema que tiene una barra eléctrica, que ya te la va a mostrar. Esa barra eléctrica tiene un peso como tal. Si pisan algo duro y la barra se mueve, obviamente ustedes van a pensar, uy, mi máquina ya no bombea. Y no, resulta que es eso tan sencillo como simplemente volverla a ajustar. Solamente estamos previendo una situación que puede presentarse. Porque obviamente cuando uno maneja en la calle uno va a pisar tanta cosa, y especialmente en los job sites. Entonces ya lo va a mostrar.
That was the downside of them. Like I said, these parts were made for TV, so.
And they have to do is what?
Just
Push it
adjust
in.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. So you can imagine.
Real tight.
Huh?
If I put a piece of tape real tight, something tight.
You might. I've seen all kinds of stuff. I've seen.
I mean, whatever you want to do. It's just we don't do it because it doesn't look too good. But if you want to do, yeah.
Push it.
Or a piece of
I've seen cardboard. I've seen rags. I've seen cum. I've seen everything. I've seen everything.
Like a piece of wood, real thick.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you can figure out. I mean, like I said, they were prone to this. All the manufacturers used to use
The
them.
thing is, that they gotta be stable. They don't have to move it, because if they move,
Right.
it might create a disconnection.
Right. You get a bad tire and it wiggles and it wiggles and it wiggles.
Let's try to pump something, or let's try to stroke it and move it and see how would it. That way they have an idea of what it will be. Vamos a aprenderle, vamos a tratar de hacer, a simular como si se hubiese movido. liquid inside of the hoses, you push them out with the sponge. And the water is basically creating back pressure to push everything out. Yep.
So the hopper holds about one wheelbarrow, and 200 foot of 2-inch holds another wheelbarrow. So I asked the finisher, when you get down to 2 wheelbarrows, let me know. I cut the driver off, I pump the hopper down. If the finisher needs a wheelbarrow and a half, I'll fill the hopper back halfway, pump it back down. I need about 3/4 of a wheelbarrow. Okay, I tell the driver that's it, and I start filling the hopper up with water. And then with one motion, you turn it on. Don't stop. You turn it on, because if you don't, it'll separate, and then you're beating out the plug somewhere. One motion. You tell the finisher when you get water, throw it outside the horn. You turn the hopper on, or turn the concrete pump on. You pump the hopper all the way down. He gets water. Boom, throw it to the side. Come back here, and like he was discussing, take the ass end to get apart. Press the reducer off. Hit your trap door. Put the machine in reverse. Stick it in the ass end. And just wash it out.
A hose.
As it shifts over, you're going to see sand and water come out of there.
In reverse.
In reverse.
That's right.
Stop the machine, turn it back off, put your trap door back on, put your reducer on, and then before you hook the hose up, you're going to put your sponge in. Hook it together, let the hopper fill up, turn the machine on, and then push it out. You're done. I usually, when I get done, I usually take the 2-inch hose over and flip the reducer up and let it fill up a third time. That way you can wash your hands off, wash your boots off. If you're in, unless you like concrete in the truck too, you know what I mean? You're gonna have it all over your feet and stuff. So. That way you wash your, because you're gonna take all your hoses and throw them on the truck, all your clamps, throw them on the truck, and then the last part is you're gonna take your water hose and throw it on the truck, and then so you don't have any more water. So if you have a hopper full, at least you can wash yourself up a little bit,
Alrighty.
And then usually I use it as like a watery douche, you know what I mean? The last part, if you've been washing up here, that last part I kick the trap door and boom, it'll wash out whatever's there. So when you leave the job, you're
clean. Mm-hmm. What kind of oil do we use for this pump?
Okay, so on the motor side, it's 10W30.
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 Yes, synthetic.
Synthetic?
Yes. How about on the pump?
Okay, and then you got your oil filter here, right?
Oil filter.
Fuel filter on the other side. You'll see it, and then there's a secondary fuel filter here.
The little one, the clear one.
And this is about where you figure about 250 engine hours. So you calculate, your running time on job site. So you take it 3 hours on the job, and you just add it to it on the calendar. You know what I mean? You just figure out how much.
Or you can use the hour meter too.
I know a lot of guys use ticket time. You have an hour meter. Okay, so you got hydraulic fluid here, which is an AW46, an Anywhere 46.
46
hydraulic. And then your main filter is there. And you're going to change that also at 250 engine hours. Engine hours, correct. It's Anywhere 46, so in theory you should get 4,600 hours out of it.
Out of the oil, but not out of the filter.
Correct.
So the filter is 250 hours with that filter, and the air filter. But the oil, the hydraulic oil, unless there's contamination, you don't need to change it. It'll self-clean with the filter. Yes, sir.
Now, on this particular tank, you're going to see there's a low plug.
You see that little thing there?
The little plug. So you're going to crack that loose in about a water cap out of a, just a little water bottle. You just a little bit out. This tank's going to get hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. The condensation that runs down, as you can see, it's in a V. It's going to run to the lowest part of the tank. So you're going to drain that off once a week.
Once a week?
Once a week to take the water out. Just
drops.
don't completely open it, because all the oil is going to come out of there. You're not going to be able to control. Just open it a little bit. When you start seeing, you see the first thing that's going to come out, because water and oil is going to separate. So the first thing that's going to come out is water. Just until you start seeing oil, stop it then, and that's it. And
a lot of times when you open it up, you're just going to see oil.
Then you're okay. Yeah.
You're good, as long as you do that once a week. Because you let that water build up.
Eventually it'll go to the pump. Yeah. You blow it up and you'll be back here.
Well, yeah, you'll like that one.
That's right. Now, what about the water box? They were asking me about the proximity switches and the water box, which is not really a water box.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just hydraulic fluid in the piston cup in a enclosed system. So as it gets lower, you just throw motor oil, hydraulic fluid, whatever. The piston cups are orange, so they're designed for oil.
You know what he's talking about? In here, in this water box, yeah. You add any kind of oil in there, basically.
Any kind.
It's a closed system, so no, don't overfill it, because then obviously all that stuff is gonna come out. But just about where it is, you can leave it there.
You just can drop the oil?
Yeah, right on the wall, right on the box.
Any kind, motor oil, any kind.
Motor oil, hydraulic oil, yeah.
In fact, there are injectors on a Mayco. Here, this is run hydraulically, and these are injectors. If you follow these lines, you see they go right into the piston.
So they're actually self-filling.
Yeah. Well, they're just injecting a small amount, because between I don't know if you've ever taken a Mayco apart before, or like a ball valve. You know, they got a rubber, and then a felt ring, and then a big O-ring. So that felt ring comes across and injects it with oil, and then takes it down and brings it back, injects it with oil again. Just help lubricate it. In the 80s, there wasn't a water box. They were just drilled holes, and every time it injected water, it would drop on the ground. Well, EPA got them a big fine for that. So they enclosed all the water boxes, and then now you contain it, and then after a while it's going to fill up, and then you drain it off as you need it. But in theory, I don't, I mean, from the truck, the pump moving around on job sites, some little bit's going to splash out here, a little bit, you don't hardly ever have to take it out. No. You're going to see as grout starts filling up and it starts turning white, then you know, oh, I need to get new piston cups. So you're going to drain the oil off, clean the water box up somewhat, and then change the piston cups out. And these you get changed out inside the water box. Inside the hopper. You're going to be taking them out from here. There's 4 bolts and you just pull them out. Pretty easy design.
So that's the level they're going to be.
Yeah, they're self-leveling. I mean, like I said, when you go on a job site, you're going to be rocking around, they splash out a little bit, But as long as it's about almost under the chrome rod, perfect. So on this system, there's just a simple relay, an RC relay, and these wires are connected to it, proximity switches. So when it comes by, it reads the top of the piston cup. So as it hits, it sends a signal, and then it switches the S tube. That's all that's doing. So you're gonna see, if you look in there, there's gonna be a clear relay, and you're gonna see it's a panel board, and it's rocking the whole time it's shifting, and that's all it's doing. When this piston comes down, it knows it's gonna be on this side, which puts this in the corresponding peg on the RC control board. You know what I mean? For the shift over lever. So when this side's down, this lever's up. When this side's down, the lever's in aft position. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple. I mean, when you kind of watch it, you open up the panel and you kind of watch it as it's pumping. You'll kind of see what it's doing, and you kind of see where it's at in relation to the switchover valve. Pretty simple. You're like, okay, I get it. Real easy.
Then if they close this up completely, it won't pump. So if you ever get to a job site and it ain't moving, the first thing you should look into is obviously, your flow control. Yeah.
Or this is in the middle position.
Or that's in the middle position too.
Because that cuts out the circuit for the switchover. That's all it does.
If I put it in the middle,
it won't do nothing.
It won't shift. This brings the circuit online. Correct. And then that loses the circuit. You understand? So now the machine doesn't know what to do. It pressures out.
I gotta be right here.
Correct. When you're pumping.
Yep.
The other way is just for like a mechanic to test the system. So when you call me and hey, it won't do anything. Well, switch it over here and turn it on and tell me how much pressure you're building. Or do you hear pressure? Well, I hear plenty of pressure. Okay, well that splits the system in the center. So now we know to go this way instead of go back towards the pump. You understand? If you don't have any pressure, well then we're going towards the pump. I'm going to ask you, okay, well, you take this line off, do that, put a pressure gauge on it. So it kind of splits the system up halfway. So that's where the middle is.
Where does he need to grease this machine?
Okay, so you're going to have on each fitting, you're going to see on the back bearing, you're going to see a grease fitting, and the knuckle, grease fitting.
That one.
Yeah, you got it.
Grease fitting.
You got one here. You got
Grease.
one there.
Okay.
In the front, look over here.
There's 3.
3 of those over there. You got
On the
one
dummy
over
side
here.
of the bearing.
That's the most important thing, yes. Grease it every time.
Now there is 2 on
the diff rods in the back?
Correct. They're not so critical, but they do move somewhat. Once a month, once every other month, as long as you get them once.
One is
How about
this
this
side,
one?
one the other one.
This goes to the other side.
Ah, okay.
You got one manual, this goes to the far side.
Oh, okay.
So you can do it all from one side.
Every once a month.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when you watch them, they don't move hardly at all.
So those, but these other ones you're not gonna do once a month.
No, this is the
Every day after each job you're gonna do it.
after each.
So you're going to do it at 50 yards. So if you're doing a 60-yard job, when 50 pulls away, you're going to stop the machine, grease all of them real quick, and then do 60. When you get done, before you leave the job, you're going to grease again. And that, I don't even have one.
What?
Let me show them what a bearing looks like. A bearing's just a rod with a rubber cup. And the grease keeps the rubber cup expanded. When the grease goes away, the rubber cup collapses, and now grout comes in to the
Concrete.
bearing. So the weight of the hopper, as the concrete fills up, it's always trying to go out, out, out. So the bearing's holding that pressure. So when you grease, now you're pushing the grout back into the hopper. If you wait till you get back to the shop, the grout's going to get hard, and you can't grease it anymore. So it's best to squeeze that fresh grout out.
So basically, we have to put grease before and after work.
Well, if you grease
It's better, right?
well, if you grease it after your job, it's greased.
Just
before
already
the-
greased before you already did you're doing the next one.
Way before.
So after every job, you grease, and every 50 yards.
Every 50 yards.
Yeah. So if you're only doing 20, you grease at the end of the job. The next job you do 30, you grease.
You
at
already
the end.
got grease. That's
You do
right.
70-yard house slab, and 50 leaves, you grease one more time. Do 60, 70.
Is there
wash
any
out.
considerations as far as fuses go with this pump? That they need to.
I mean, you'll see them. There's some internal fuses here that run the cord, run the fan, run the main board. So if you turn the key switch on and nothing happens, well, you know it's a fuse inside. There's only 3 fuses, pretty selfish.
3 feet.
3 fuses. And they're the inline fuses, AFC fuses, the spades. There's a 30, a 20, and a 10. The 30 runs the whole thing, the 20 runs the fan, and the 10 runs the cord. Pretty simple.
What about belts?
On the serpentine belt, yeah. So, you know, after 250 yards, you're going to inspect, or 250 engine hours, you're going to expect to be a belt.
Every 20 what?
250.
250.
engine hours, you're going to expect the belt. This one is designed, this plunger here is for a fuel shutoff. If you blow the belt, the motor dies automatically. That's what that plunger does.
That way you don't overheat. Basically, it's an emergency system.
Correct. Correct. And that's their fan. That's all that thing's turning. And behind that fan is your alternator. Behind that fan shroud. So that's all that's running. No water because it's air cooled. Air cooled being the fan. It's sucking in.
If that happened in the job, you have to just turn it off. And
No,
quickly, or-
it'll die automatically.
It'll die.
Yeah, it'll turn off automatically.
If you blow the belt, it'll die.
So it would be kind of nice to have an extra belt somewhere in case that it does die when you have concrete in your hopper.
Yeah.
Because then you're screwed.
I'll be honest with you, I can't remember one in my head I've ever heard of anybody said that they blew a belt off, you know, on a Mayco. But I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but I just never heard of.
Okay.
I mean, you can't keep an extra belt. I just check them at 250 hours. If they're starting to fray a little bit on the side, I change it. You know,
They're cheap.
they're $10.
To replace it, how easy it is?
It's easy.
Oh, you just unloosen the tensioner.
That one.
Yeah. The tensioner goes in and pull the belt off, put it back on, and then you just grab this with an Allen and plunge it out, and then tighten it back up. Not real tight. You see how tight it is now. It's not real tight. You're only running a fan on that thing. That's it. It ain't like you're running, you know, accessory drive like on a Chevy or, you know, a car where there's a lot of torque. Turn the air conditioner on, you know, bugs in. Turn the fan. That's all it's doing. So the braking system, it's an old system. It probably works somewhat. The thing probably only weighs 3,000 pounds, you know what I mean? So it ain't like you need a lot of brakes back there, but it does work, but I don't know for how long. Couldn't tell you. It's an older system. Now, if you go to electrical, you know, I think we buy them for what, maybe $200 or $300 to go all electrical. It's up to you. And then you could change your tongue, and then you get a military tongue in the end, and it'd be electric, and you can run it off your truck then, if you deem to switch it over.
Yeah, like later, if you guys want to do that, you can bring it back to us, and we'll replace the whole system and put out just one like that. So when you brake in your truck, the electric current will activate the pads on the brakes.
This works off of a plunger system. So as you apply your brakes, this piston engages and it grabs. So it's like ABS. It's constantly grabbing. So you're going to feel it. It's kind of troublesome. I mean, it's an old system, and they still use it somewhat on boats, on bigger boats. It's not real effective.
Okay.
It's up to you. Let it make you some money first, and then if you want to put some more money in
That's
it.
the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But man, you know, Mayco's in the 80s, they were the shit. I run them going to the Bahamas, no problem. And, you know, the ST models, LSs, I can't vouch for them. I haven't really run one, you know, long term, but the STs were really nice. Really nice. I mean, I've run one for a couple of years, no problems. Never any problems. And they're American parts, so you can go anywhere to hydraulic house and buy them all over the world. You know? Stators, hand valves, the hoses, all JIC. I mean, cheap. You know, instead of this turbometric stuff.
Expensive, very expensive.
Well, you could ask him. I mean, just the fittings alone were how much were they?
This morning I was looking for some fittings. Unos fittings que necesitaba para esta máquina, necesitaba 14 fittings, costaban $450 los 14. Unos fittings para poner una manguera, nada del otro mundo. Una cosita que realmente no significa gran cosa para la operación y
This stuff is cheap.
esto es muy barato
You
todo
can
eso.
find them in magazines, you know. They're cheap.
Ace.
Yeah, cheap.
You know, I went to Advance and they got a bunch of that stuff. Advance Auto Parts.
Cheap stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's all over the world, you know. JBC uses it. Volvo uses them. A lot of companies use it.
All right, Harold. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Enjoy the video.
Thank you for watching. To continue seeing more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Also, you can just go right here on this link to our website, liveequipment.com, for a complete list of equipment available for sale. Or just keep navigating to our channel. Have a great day.